Hi Flosstube, I'm Tamara. I am PD Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Today is Sunday, January 16th, and it's about 6 something in the morning, so it's dark behind me, but I think I've got enough lights in here for the colors to ring true. If you are new here, welcome. Always happy to have new friends visit, and if you like what you see, I welcome you to hit that subscribe button and stick around for a while. And if you are returning, welcome back. I enjoy catching up with my friends every couple of weeks or months sometimes. I'm not always the most consistent, but I do have good intentions. It is yucky weather here in South Carolina this morning. We live closer to the coast, so all we have is freezing rain, kind of boring, and yucky. From what I understand, people a little bit further inland are getting some nice snow. I wish we were there. I love snow. One of my children loves snow. The rest of my family, they're kind of glad we're not getting snow. So they're happy. I'm not. I like snow. I like snow if I don't have to go anywhere. I don't want to go out in it. So you may hear some freezy rain stuff going on outside my window, because you can kind of hear the ice as it's hitting the house. So it's been a couple of weeks. The last time I visited with y'all was January 1st, so I have a few things to share. I've been trying to focus more on pieces instead of working a little bit on this and a little bit on this and working on 16, 17 different things in 2 weeks. I've been trying to focus and get several days worth on a few projects so I can actually see some progress. And that seems to be working for me. I've been really enjoying the way Magical Stitches has been set up for January, where it's just been one prompt for the week, and it's been a fairly generic prompt. The first week was, I don't remember. This past week was your oldest whip, and so I worked on my oldest whip, obviously. This coming week is the whip with the most colors, and I'll share more about what I'm going to work on this week with y'all when we get to that. But just one piece, and they've let us pick our own goals, so that's been nice. I've set my goal at 500 because if I'm going to work on it for several days, I should be able to hit 500 stitches. And then working on some other challenges for some other groups. I'm trying to get more work done on some of my full coverage projects this year. I've been inspired by so many of my Flosstube friends who have been doing a lot of full coverage. I know Sarah at Our Stitching Kingdom and Sammy from Sammy J Stitches have both been doing full coverage Fridays, and so I've been trying to do that and work on a full coverage piece on the weekend. It may or may not be on Friday. Some Fridays I have a lot of stitching time, other Fridays I don't, but at some point during the weekend, or the whole weekend, like this weekend, I want to put towards a full coverage piece. So, that being said, let's start. What have I worked on this week, or the last 2 weeks? So the first piece is my 100 Stitches a Day, which is November, from the Cricut collection. And I've done, if you're returning, you know. If you're new, you don't know. But I've been working on all of the months, and I've done January through October. Now I'm working on November, and as soon as I finish November, I'll be starting December. So, since I saw you last, I have finished the O, and I'm almost finished with the N. I have the rest of these windows to fill in, and then I have to backstitch the windows, and then I'll be able to come back over here. I started in the middle, so I've done the V, the E, and most of the M. I started in the middle, worked my way out, because I knew I was going to be cutting it close on this fabric. But I didn't want to buy a bigger piece of fabric just for that much. So I've still got a good bit, enough that I can finish these. I've got a good bit on this end, so if I really truly started in the middle, I should have about that same amount on the other end when I finish. So the next time I'll show y'all, I'll probably be working on finishing the M and going on to the B. So I'm making some progress. I should finish this by the end of February, hopefully. And then I'll be able to work on December, and if that takes me 3 or 4 months like it did November, I'll have it finished by this summer, and maybe I can finish all of them fully. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a fully finished item from me. We shall see. What else have I been working on? I don't have a cover picture for this. It's on my tablet, which I'm using to record. So I don't have a cover picture, and I haven't printed one out. It's a sad, sorry saga of why I can't print right now. I had a computer. I had a computer last year that worked well with my printer. And then it started dying, making really weird noises, and so I bought a new computer. Bought it in October. And the first weekend in December, I spilled a cup of water all over it, and it died. A tragic, tragic death. And no, I didn't have a warranty on it, so it just died. And it also hooked up to my printer, so, you know, everything was going great. Bought a new computer, because I have to have a computer. I work from home on the computer. It does not connect to my printer. Apparently, my printer is so old, it won't connect with it. So I've been using my son's printer, which is in his room, but I can hook up to Bluetooth and print from his. But I hate to print just frivolous. Not that cross stitching is frivolous. I don't think it's frivolous, but I don't want to print that stuff on his printer if I can avoid it. So I have a new computer coming in. Another new computer, one that will hopefully hook up to this printer. It's coming in this week, so we'll see. But this is Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. And I'm doing this in a palette of colors that are blues and teals. I got the palette colors from Stitch Palettes. It was all a picture of like a wintry, like iceberg situation with blues and teals, and I just fell in love with those colors together, and I think this is turning out really pretty. It's just slow going for me, because once I pick a color for what I want to work on in that motif, like all of the insides of these are the same color. You know, all of the animals are in the same color. But it's a matter of figuring out what color I want for that part of the motif. That's the hardest, because I want the colors to kind of mesh. If you look, this new diamond that I'm working on, it has 3 different colors. I don't know if you can tell. I think you can tell here. It has 3 different of the shades. So I was trying to figure out which way they meshed the best and which one. So if I wasn't so picky, it would probably be going much faster. But it looks pretty, so we'll go with that. It might take me 6 or 7 years to finish this, but it will look pretty when I'm done. So what else? So the next thing I worked on, this is my oldest whip. This is Christmas 2. The artwork is by Ciro Marchetti, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, or HAED. And I don't know why I don't prepare my pieces before I sit down and fold them so that I can show them more easily, but I don't, and so then I have to refold them so that I can show them more easily while I'm sitting here talking to you. You'd think that I would know what I'm doing by now. I don't. So this is how far I've gotten. I'm working on this page here, and it is almost done. Right now I'm in the windows, so it kind of all blends in, but I use the parking method with this one. I do a 10 by 10 square on the diagonal, but since I'm almost at the end of this page, you can't really tell. But I finished, when I started this year, I had just, I think this part of this page started, and now I'm all the way down to here, so I've made a good bit of progress. I've gotten almost that whole page done this month, so I'm excited. And the last the last week of January, the prompt for Magic Stitches is the piece that has the most number of stitches already in it, which I think is this one, because I finished 5 pages, almost 6 pages, and that's a lot of stitching. So I think it's this one. Pandemic might be close, but I think I have more stitches, like actual physical stitches, in this one, because it's full coverage. Pandemic's got so much open space that I'm not really sure that it has as many stitches. So I'm hoping to get more progress done on this one by the end of the month. And then this was my New Year, New Start. If I can find the cover photo. Here we go. This is The Office by Stitch Aria from Etsy. And I've made a little bit of progress on this. I'm trying to do one motif at a time, and if you can see, the motifs are fairly like one color, maybe 2 colors, so it makes it really easy to do a focus on one motif and then move to the next motif. So I think I've worked on this. This was also one of my Whip Go calls this month, was a new start for 5 days. So this one's my new start for 5 days. I've done 3 days, and as you can see, I've got 3.5 motifs done. Well, not really 3, because this one I still have to fill in. But I have 2 more days to work on this, and I'll do that this week and hopefully get a few more motifs done. The hardest part the hardest part for me with starting a piece is figuring out where to start and setting up the Q-snap and all that stuff. So my very first day of working on any piece, I get very little actual stitching done, because it's mostly me just finagling where I want the piece to start. I need to figure out how to speed that process up and get more accomplished. I'm sorry I did not unzip stuff before I sat down. So this is the other whip that was called for my Whip Go. And I'm sorry, I'm looking for the cover photo. There it is. This is the one that has all of them. I'm working on Words to Live By from Tiny Modernist. And this was my New Year, New Start for 2021. And I've done all of the outside blocks except for this one. This is the one I'm working on now. So this one was called for Whip Go, the very beginning of the year. And my goal for this is a finish. It's not going to happen in January. It will happen this year, though, because I still have this whole middle to do, which is a lot of stitching, but not as much white, because I've now done all of the outside borders, so it'll just be like these little corner pieces with the white. And then white is hard for me, it goes really slow. So this is where I am on this. So I don't know why it's crooked in the Q-snap, but it is. So I have to finish the A and then the rest of Good Day. So today is a good day to have a good day. And then once I'm done with those, I'm ready to move to the middle. So like I said, this will be a finish this year. Some of my Whip Go goals are monthly, some of them are for the whole year, because I kind of thought that this would be called later this year when I've already worked on it a little bit. But no, it was first. Jessie Marie, if you could pull the ones that are finishes closer to the end of the year when it's more reasonable for me to finish, that'd be great. Then I have one more. This is the piece that I'm working on this weekend for my full coverage focus. And this is World of Disney 1 from ZAnna Cross Stitch on Etsy. And this is a really bad printout because my color ink was fading. But that's what it's going to look like. And I am maybe 75% done with that first page. And there's 120 something pages. So, I do have this on Pattern Keeper. It makes it a little easier. Christmas 2 is not on Pattern Keeper. It makes it a little bit more slow going. This one though, I love it. It's turning out beautiful. However, all of this right here, right around his eye, each one of those little blocks is a different color. Every single block was a different color. It took me an hour to do 35 stitches yesterday because I had to start and stop. And as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of cross country, but I'm doing cross country within a page. But literally, it would be one color. One stitch of that color. And then I'd go to the next color. One stitch of that color. So, yesterday was a little bit slower. I'm hoping today, when I get back over here into this blue, that I can go a little faster. We'll see. But that's been what I'm focusing on, and this will be, because as you can see, there are a lot of colors in this. This is my piece with the most colors. It has 2 full bobbin boxes of colors, and they're full, and I don't have all the colors yet. I still have, I thought I had bought all the ones I needed for page 1. No, I had to go yesterday. Well, actually, I went Friday to Joann to get some more colors that I needed for that little bit in page 1, and then Friday night realized I still didn't have all the colors I needed. I went back yesterday to Joann and got more colors. So I think I've almost hit my Stitch from Stash budget of $25 just in getting DMC for that little piece of this. But that's okay. No, I bought the ones for this, and then I also bought some of the ones for the next page so that I'll have them when I get to the next page. So that's really all I've been working on. So that's only, what, 5-6 projects, which is really good for me. Because like I said, in the past I would work on 1 or 2 a day and they'd be different, and I didn't feel like I made much progress. I know I did, but I couldn't see the progress from week to week. So I'm hoping that having a better focus for several days will get me to where I feel like I'm making progress, because it's supposed to be, I'm supposed to be working towards a finish. I'm a process stitcher though, and I enjoy the process of stitching. I really, even though I complained about that being kind of tedious with the 1 color per stitch, I enjoyed it. It took me a while, and that's okay. I'm okay with stitching slow. I'm never going to be one of those stitchers that's knocking out, 6-7 projects a month and fully finishing them, and that's just not who I am, and that's okay. I'm learning that every stitcher is different, and I have friends on Flosstube who I follow who finish things all the time, and I am so amazed by them, and I love watching them because I live through them vicariously with their finishes. And then I have some friends on Flosstube who are kind of like me. They work on some bigger projects. It takes them a little longer because their projects are bigger, and they might have a finish, every now and then, and that's okay too. And I love watching their progress on their big pieces. So it doesn't matter what kind of stitcher you are. This is your hobby, and it needs to be what you enjoy. I have a little tiny bit of haul, not much, like I said. I bought a bunch of DMC yesterday and Friday. I'm not going to show that because it's just DMC. I am in the Fabric of the Month from Color and Cotton. I'm sorry, I should have pulled this out before. So if you have not gotten your January 2022 fabric from Color and Cotton yet, look away. But this is, I get the color, or the mixed, I think, because I think sometimes I get color and sometimes I get neutrals. But this is Cedar from Color and Cotton, and this is a gorgeous deep reddish brown, absolutely beautiful. And that's showing up. That's true right there. That is absolutely gorgeous. I have, so with Stitch from Stash, if you were already in a monthly club, I guess, then that didn't count towards your monthly budget. So this does not count towards my monthly budget. I'm also in the Fabric of the Month from Grace Notes. Grace Notes Fabrics. I'm sorry, Colleen and Corinne, I could think of your names. I could not think of your Flosstube name. And then I don't know why my phone just pinged, but I'll look at that in a little bit. I've got my 3 All Threads monthly thread packet of Week Style Works. So those don't count towards my Stitch from Stash, thankfully. So I get to continue to build up my stash in my fabrics and my flosses. And I'm trying really hard to keep my spending down this year, because I want to be able to help my children buy stuff for their apartments as they move out. And I have 2 who are looking for apartments right now. So that's where my money's going to be going. Not cross stitch, but that's okay, because there's going to be a time when they're not going to be here and they're not going to be living in my house, and I'm not going to have to help them anymore because they're going to be on their own, and I can cross stitch all I want then and buy cross stitch. And that will make me sad, actually, because they won't be here. This is a very hard time as I'm watching my children grow up and get ready to fly out of the nest. I'm proud of them, but it's hard. It's very emotional as a mama. So those of you who have had children who have grown and gained their wings and moved onto their own adult lives, bless you. I hope if you have words of wisdom for me, share them. Share them in the comments below, because this is hard. It's been very emotional. I'm really proud of them, and I want them to go out and do their thing, but I also don't want them to leave, because they're still my babies, even though they're not babies anymore. So with that, y'all stay happy, stay healthy, keep stitching. Bye.